pretty tough, but we're just going to get in and do our best. So we have Waddle or Sadrak, probably. I think of those two. I'm likely going to take Waddle for the potential for high rolling, more so than Sadrak. I like that Sadrak has first attack, but the Slay element is not really that important, so I think Waddle has a higher chance of high rolling here. It's not a guarantee, but I think that's where I want to be, so that's what we're going to take. This is an interesting start. Not the greatest start I've ever seen, but I definitely think we can lead on a Black Cat here. I don't know if I'm going to take this right away. We probably will take the Mim instead, but I think it's okay to lock for this because it is a decent early board. There is a Trophy Hunter in the game. They took a little bit of early damage to Shrink. There is a world where we can take the Happy Little Tree here and Shard. Which I definitely think is decent. Or a decent line. We could even potentially just skip this. These don't really make us that much stronger. And we can just take the Mim now. And then we don't really necessarily need the Black Cat. I will lock for it because it is a good pickup with the Mim either way. But I definitely think that the Shard line was worth it, because if it turns into something that we don't really want, Minotaur or whatever, then we can just sell it and don't have to worry about it. Which I think is a decent line to consider. And if it turns into the Black Cat, which it did, then we can always skip and it's fine. So here, I do like the polys, but I don't really know if we care that much about finding a 3. I actually kind of want to take it next turn. I think to be the strongest, we're going to go like this. And possibly even putting the Blind Mouse in the back as a dragon buffer, and then we're going to lock for the poly. I do like getting upgraded polys, but I don't know if I really want to run it on this turn. We really wouldn't want to get a random 3 anyway. And it is just a bit less stats than the 2/2 mouse in this spot either way. So I think this is fine. I'm going to lead on the little bit bigger one just in case they have a frog. They haven't taken any damage with Share Bear, and this is going to give us a little bit of extra gold going into our next turn as well, which I like. It's a great hit for us. Really good. We're going to win this fight very comfortably. So we get to do some damage to Share Bear. They lose their magic research on the Archer, which I like all of those things. So we're against Piper here. Piper's usually pretty strong on this turn. I'm going to take the chicken, and I'm going to take the poly, and I'm going to roll. Thinking. I don't think that I want the Baby Root or the Creeper. Trying to decide if I want this 4 glory. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We literally have like 4 units that can 1-for-1 with their stuff. And then our back row is pretty bad, so I don't think the 4 glory makes sense. I'd rather just roll. I don't know if I mind picking this up now. So we can get something like Sling to be stronger. Boots is also interesting. I think we're going to grab Sling just to be stronger here. And then arrange them something like this. So I'd like to be winning combats early, and then we can find better treasures later. They have Peep and the double Black Cat, which is not great for us. Honestly, if these all just trade straight up, we might be able to poly into the Peep. And then have it live, which would be pretty sick. It doesn't. We just get a random 4. I guess we're not beating the keep in that spot ever. We do have a Lady of the Lake. Unfortunate that our Poly died there. Trying to see if this Gingerbread Party makes sense here. I like this pair. If we take Gingerbread Party, our turn is really awkward, so I don't think I can do that. I think we're just buying the pair. Let's grab Crown. Now the Good Witch makes a lot more sense, and so does the Poly. I'd like to cast a spell, but I don't think it's really in the cards, because I do think the Mim is pretty decent here. It would be Mim selling it. That'd be +2 here, which is basically it. I don't hate the Good Witch. I don't really want to buy more supports, so we're just going to buy the Poly. We'll put it in the back again. If it slays, it slays. If it doesn't, that's fine as well. I think that this positioning is okay. And then we'll just have to do a little bit better next turn. They get a slay, but that's actually fine. We have plenty of stats here to get this pig gold as well. And we're likely not going to get our Poly Slay, which is nice, because I'd really rather have this for later. But we do have the Crown. We could have had Boots Crown, which would have been really nice. We can still go for it at some point, given that we are Wonder Waddle. I don't mind more Familiars. They are very strong. I also don't mind the Spellweaver, especially since we already have the Familiar. I'm considering just buying all of these and using the potion, pulling the Poly out. So give us another range unit in the back. These two will be about the same stats. And I think we actually just target this. And then we reposition our units a bit. There's not a ton of repositioning that we can do here. So we do still want to be leading with a relatively strong unit, but we can probably do something like this, even. This is just a 4/4. I mean, this isn't any better than the Blind Mouse, but I think we can position it so that our range units are in a little bit of a better spot, while still attacking with a decent threat here. I think this is fine. This unit's sort of offensive, but it's what we've got for now. Merlin's probably going to beat us in this spot, so we'll take a little bit of damage. I would like to pick up some tier 3s, potentially if we decide to stick with the spell theme. We would want to find Ball, but we're not necessarily married to finding it either. I believe that we have enough stats here, though this Vampire is pretty scary. That was a good hit for us. So then that lets us kill this, and then I believe that our range units can win this fight. Yeah. Okay, so we don't take damage, which is good. The +2/+2 for our animal theme that we have going is really nice. This is a good pickup here. Really good. We can take the questing, or the noble steed for the questing princess. Sorry, for the Cindy, to make it into a 3. Which I don't hate. We're already planning on trying to get this triggered anyway, and a 3 is going to be more useful than a 2 most of the time. I don't think we really need any of these. I'm going to go ahead and roll. Kidnap could be good against Trophy Hunter. Especially if they find like a Grim Soul. I think we're going to roll. The Monster Book and the Copycat are actually pretty good for us here as well. I'm kind of interested in this Monster Book, given what I have. Are we just done with this Mim now? The Mim's kind of fallen behind a bit. I don't hate the Copycat. I think we'll lock for it. But based on what we already have, I'm sort of interested in grabbing this Monster Book first, rearranging these units a bit, and then casting the Sugar and Spice on our Lady of the Lake. Maybe we put the bigger Familiar in the front. We're prioritizing this Monster Book attacking. These likely will need to be replaced soon, but they're okay for right now. Kidnap would have gotten us a Monster Book, which would have been really nice. Oh, that's a disaster. Really bad for us. Yeah, that's not great. We lose a little bit of scaling here. I think we're going to win combat, though, so I guess it's fine. Yeah, we should win combat just fine here. They don't take quite as much damage as I would like, but it's okay. I do think we can pick up copycats. It's not hard for us to get boots if we decide to really try for it. And I think it's worth grabbing them. The sugar and spice is also still interesting here. I think I'd rather roll. The other book is really strong, and we can earthquake. I think we're done with this black cat then. It's served us pretty well, but this book is going to be much more useful for us here. I don't believe that we can copycat just yet. It does give us one extra spell cast potentially, but having in a 3/9 just casting one spell, I don't know if is worth it. I'm trying to think about that. I'm going to try to save this for a 6, or if we find a Grim Soul, I might stick it in. That's just a 4/4. It's unlikely for it to be able to slay on its own, so... Yeah, we could maybe be running the Copycat over the Black Cat here. I'm not going to until I upgrade one of them, but we probably could have been doing that, for sure. Another Earthquake would be fine. Okay, that's good. Hit this one. Ooh, the Romeo. Romeo would have been the ideal hit there, because it just kills that one without the respawn. This living is really good for us, because then it just smashes into this. Nice. So we have a ton of stats on our familiars now already, which is really good. We're against the Geppetto that has basically just been bleeding. Geppetto has basically just lost health ever since the early game. I don't think I want a 4 glory though. This would be 4/4/4/5/5. I think that's maybe worth it. Worth a try anyway. These probably aren't what we need. I don't actually hate the Shoulder Fairies with the Wizard's Familiar. It's a 8/23, which is not terrible. Are we taking the hat? I think we are. We can get rid of Sling. It gives us a little bit less stats, but not terrible. I'm going to take this. And then let's roll. Sporko. Probably don't need Sporko here. I think I'm going to lock for the Spellweaver. I think given what we have, the Spellweaver is going to be pretty good. Since we're sort of moving in this weird... Oh, that fireball is insane there. We're sort of moving in a weird direction where we're going to be like Wizard's Familiar Shoulder Fairies with spells. And if we're doing that, then it makes sense to have a bigger focus on getting the Spellweaver some attack. I think we're going to be strong enough here, maybe not to take a ton of damage. We don't have a lot of ranged, but I think we'll be able to win this combat here, it looks like. Okay. Flux clearly not happy with the situation. We probably don't need to cast the BD's Influence. I think I'm just going to sell the Blackhead and buy the Weaver, and then let's roll. So we have a TLK. I don't believe that there's anything that I'm super excited to TLK in this spot. We could hit the Lady of the Lake. It's fine. I think I'm just more interested in rolling. Alright, let's grab the Blind Mouse here. Fork would be a good pickup. 6 of Shields is acceptable for now. I don't really think that I need the coin. I think 6 of Shields is okay. So let's dump the Steed. And then let's sell the Blind Mouse, pick up the chicken, and roll. So the Aeon's really good here. We can sell this, Grab the Aeon, and we need to cast this spell right now. I don't know if we're going to be copycatting this game. I don't think we're going to be able to do this poly. So I think we can cast this now. And then I believe that we want to switch this out so we can get more stats on these. It might be a little greedy on this turn to do this play. But it is really important for us to actually get more stats for the Shoulder Fairies because we need more attack on the Weavers. And this is a good way to get it. That was unfortunate. Because now this is just going to eat like most of our front row. Which does feel kind of bad. That's not ideal. We really needed to hit the ranged. That's a good hit. Alright, so that was a good hit for us. So overall a pretty good combat. And we fight against Sharebear, which does give us some extra economy for this turn. Ideally we get a bit more stats on these. We have the Aeon, but we don't actually have balls, so casting multiple spells in a turn is not really viable. I think we just want to roll. Alright, here's a Shoulder Fairy pair. That's nice. Let's roll. We could shard this into a 4. If it's book, that would be huge. Can also shard the Lady of the Lake, because we're probably sneaking this or this in. We could be copycats yet in the future. Let's hit the Lady of the Lake. It's a Medusa, that's fine. We got our book anyway. I think we just skip and roll. Don't really need Lancelot here. The Turkish Delight is interesting for next turn, but I don't really want to lock for it. I think we can grab the other Shoulder Fairy here. It's a bit more compelling for the copycat now. These are 16 37s or whatever, which I think this configuration is what we want to do just for this turn. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat this Hippocampus, so we may take some damage here, but we should get some extra scaling on these, which will make our Shoulder Fairies a lot better going forward. I think we're going to end up in a pretty weird Crown of Atlas board, where our health is kind of coming from these Familiars and our attack is coming from the Spellweavers. But I don't think it'll be too bad. If we can actually get... that's nice. That's less nice. If it attacks right... we won this one too. Okay. So far, so good. Okay, so this can give us more gold. I don't think that's where we want to be. It's interesting that we could have been scaling up another Familiar, but I don't actually think that that's what we wanted. I would like to combine these a lot. That would be a pretty large upgrade for us, I suspect. But it may not be a viable option. We can take this. If we get boots, we can probably sneak in the Copycat then. So no boots, we probably just skip this and pick up the chicken. And let's roll. So I would like to cast a spell. Let's grab the Shoulder Fairies first. So we could hand him minus the Aeon. I don't think that that's what we want to do. We could just Ambrosia. We could cut the 6 of Shields, Ambrosia the Aeon. Would give us a lot more attack on our Shoulder Fairies, I think. That might be worth doing, actually. I don't know if we even need this Aeon then if we do that. Yeah, let's do it. And then we can cast the Spinning Gold here. And we can probably just put in the Medusa for now. Oh, we've lost a gold, but it's fine. Oh, that's a fucking disaster. Lose a lot of our scaling then. Not all of it, but we do lose a chunk of it, which is kind of sad. Hitting that would be really good. Oh, perfect. Okay. So we have to make note that they have a gigantic set of dragons. We'll go ahead and coin. Coin is good. Combining these, I think, is going to be our best upgrade here. We haven't seen Merlin in a long time. I think Pigo is probably reasonable here. I would take an Echo Wood. This is a huge pickup. I don't believe that we need any of this. I think these treasures are fine. We'll go ahead and skip for gold, and then let's reposition before I do anything. I think we can reposition like this. Thinking about this for a second. This gives us 2 more casts here, which I do like. I think we'll try it. Ideally looking for Echo Woods. The triple copycat would be nice. I think starting next turn I'm going to be buying tier 2 animals to see if we can look for boots. I would replace the Merlin's hat with boots. Bit of a weird board, but it's working out so far. Yeah, I think this is the board that we want to run, though the Familiar might be better than the Medusa just to scale up a second one. So we did Pigo. They attack first, but it doesn't kill anything. We get to attack with our copycats. We get to cast 2 spells. We kill this one. Okay, we did. Alright, so they appled our Aeon. That's fine. We get to Medusa this. They're basically on a very similar build to us, but just like a smaller version. So we dealt them a lot of damage here, which is really nice. So the Potion Master just died. They're the ones that had the big dragon. So we do have to be aware of the dragons still. So our Spellweaver is likely going to get killed in this spot. We'll buy this looking for boots. So no boots, we'll skip. We can pick up Nyan for the spell treasure maybe. That'd be 2, 4. It's not that many spells. Let's just roll. Again, I don't think I really need that. These are not really that exciting. I really just want an Echo Wood. I think Echo Wood would be pretty solid here. We could probably even put the, like, just not run the copycat version for this round, potentially. That's a little expensive. We could have bought that chicken for sure. I don't think we're doing boy this round. There's another shoulder fairies. Let's run that. We can put it in the back slot here. Yeah, that's fine. That was not a great round, but we're sort of repositioning for this lightning dragon because we lose a bit of attack scaling. It maybe doesn't matter because we have plenty of attack. Like, it's possible that this Wizard's Familiar is a bigger priority for us, just to get some health on it. Because this has plenty of attack, but not a lot of health. I would even consider putting any health buffs that we get on this. But we do have 2 very large shoulder fairies here, which might be good enough. We haven't seen the Big Bad Wolf in a few turns, so we don't know how strong that they are. So let's roll. We still kind of want Echo. If we can find it, I would probably run it. I would also take the upgraded copycat here. Storm King is pretty big, and we can shrivel with it as well. That's likely good enough. Is the Storm King bigger than the Shoulder Fairies is the question. I wonder. Well, let's sell these 2, because we're definitely not playing them. I'm just trying to decide if this is better in the back or the front. So this is a 120, 120, and this is a 120. So it's about the same, but this gets bigger when this gets casts. So it's very close, to be fair. I think we'll do this. They have a big dragon. The big dragon didn't really do anything for them there. Apple's good, and the fireball did kill the Pumpa, which is nice. They are quite large here with the singing swords. Our breakpoints have been very good, though. That was an amazing hit. That looks like we win. Alright, looks like a first. Well, that was a fucking game and a half. Well, we got a first, so we are now at 26 points. So second, first is a very good start to this. We are not out of the woods yet. There are still a lot of games left to play, 2 in fact, which means there's a lot of points that we can lose by not having a great run out. But this is a very good start so far. We're going to keep it up, or we're going to try. And we're gonna keep doing our best. I mean, I don't know if this is a super high roll waddle game. I think it was pretty good. We picked a decent plan of, you know, we saw that we had Crown, which is a decent way of getting health on a minion. We picked up this early, which is a good way of getting attack. So the Shoulder Fairies line was certainly nice. As soon as I saw it, you know, we kind of moved into it, which is sort of what you have to do sometimes. And it was enough that we were able to then just like put a lot of damage on the lobby and then close it out before our stats sort of fell behind. Definitely looking at some of our opponents' boards towards the end, like the Potion Master's board was, you know, they had Ball and they had some big dragons. Like they very easily with the Aeon could have gotten there. They picked up the Aeon a bit late, I think, because it was only a 9:15, so that was one of their later grabs. Like Trophy Hunter, very easily, if they end up, you know, piecing it together, could have just outscaled us. And the Singing Swords, Evil Eye, Saber, very easily could have just, you know, we not scam the pumpkin summons a bunch at the front, and then that kills us, and that's pretty rough. So, I think that we got a little bit lucky there, but that's kind of what you have to do to win a bunch of games. So we're going to go ahead and chill out for the rest of this round. Going to go stretch a little bit, and then